Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jones Podcast. What's happening? I'm your host, Eric. The Jones Podcast is a podcast that acknowledges great individuals or couples who are entrepreneurs on the city council or who are just doing great things from our city of Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Jones Podcast. What's going on, Jones Podcast family? I have a very special guest on the podcast this evening. I have Mr. Minding My Business himself, Mr. Steve Brown. Steve, how you doing today?
I'm great, man. Glad to be on your podcast, man. I've been hearing great things about it, brother.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. So, Steve, for the ones who don't know you or have been stuck up under a rock for the last 20 years, can you tell them a little something about yourself?
I'm a stand-up comic. Been doing that for like 23 years now. I am a native of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I living here in Atlanta, Georgia. And just enjoying life and my family and, of course, representing my hometown. So I've done a lot of major comedy shows, TV shows, and done a lot of producing. Not only that, I have my own scholarship fund, and I do a lot of giving back to the West Alabama, Tuscaloosa area. So, you know, I'm just happy that God put me in a position to be able to give back. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I am a comedian, funny guy, but I'm also a philanthropist. You know, and I'm just enjoying every minute of it. You know.
With your company, how did it all start? What made you want to become a comedian?
Well, the thing is, it just kind of fell in my lap. You know what I mean? I've always been a class clown, or no matter where I went, I was always wanting to make people laugh. That's always been a part of me, you know. And you know, when I went to college, of course, I attended and graduated from Stillman College in '93. I was hosting talent shows and step shows, and Ricky Smiley came to the school. He was already an established comedian, and he saw me, and he was like, "Man, you ought to start doing comedy." I was like, "Cool." So I went on the road with him for a couple of years for free, you know, no pay, and got the ball rolling, and here I am today. So it worked out, and just through a lot of hard work and perseverance, here I am, and I'm doing well, and God is good.
Being from Tuscaloosa, what was the hardest part about getting your name out there?
The hardest part?
Yeah.
Being from Tuscaloosa, it's sad to say, but you really never get any support in your own hometown. You think people will, they would try to, but it's one of those things all in professional entertainers talk about, as far as that hometown mediocrity when it comes to support. As a matter of fact, because in a small town, believe it or not, and it's just with us, black people, and it's sad to say, and you know, I'm going to say this, and some people probably not going to like what I'm about to say, but in a small town, the smaller the town, the bigger the bucket of crabs you have. Nobody wants to see anybody doing better than what they do. I got my break in comedy when I left Tuscaloosa. Then I came back. And, you know, I started a comedy night, you know. Well, I had several comedy nights. You know, of course, when I started comedy, I started my comedy night at this place called Black Orchid downtown. And I was producing and promoting my own shows. People thought I was a fool. I was going from business to business, you know, putting up flyers and all types of stuff. And, you know, the night, it worked out. It started being packed and everything was working fine. The next thing you know, it dropped off, you know, and it's like no consistent support. But so I moved away and, you know, just started doing my thing, started doing TV shows and everything else, and it worked out. Came back to Tuscaloosa and started another comedy night, you know, and fast forward in my career. And it wasn't for any monetary value. I was raising the money to raise money for my scholarship fund, which I give scholarships away at HBCUs, you know. And it was such lack of support until I just like, man, you know what? I'm kind of done with this. So I moved away, and trust me when I tell you, things have blossomed so much for me. And I mean, I still, give back to Tuscaloosa, but I'm good where I am. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I've decided, that I'm not really interested in doing any more shows in Tuscaloosa. And I know I have some supporters there, but sometimes when you're up against so much pushback from the people that you know and grew up with you and you supported, and then they don't want to do the same for you, it's like a big turnoff. You know what I'm saying? You love them, but then you got to love them from afar. You got to continue on and do what you do. So here I am today in Atlanta. I got a comedy night here in Atlanta. It's packed every weekend and on Wednesdays, and I'm just traveling and doing my thing and, doing auditions for different TV shows and everything like that. So, everything's working in my favor.
I've seen your Instagram posts with the minding my business, and then everybody loves that, man. I think that's hilarious. My son goes around the house marking you doing that all the time. And how do you feel about the flyby internet comedians?
Well, you know what? I let people do what they do. At first I had a big problem with it, but actually just watching the process, I must say I am a fan of some of them. I'm a fan of DC Young Fly. As a matter of fact, he'll be in Tuscaloosa, I think, on the 12th.
Yeah.
So I think people should go see him. He's a funny young brother, doing his thing, and he's a very, 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 very multi-talented brother. You know what I'm saying? And him and a couple more, they really put in work, and they're very successful. What I had a problem with was these guys making videos, knowing that they've never been on a stage before ever, and calling themselves comedians. And what it was doing was people were actually booking them for shows as comedians, and they couldn't deliver. And what it did, it gave the business of stand-up comedy a black eye. Now nobody wanted to go to any comedy shows because they were afraid that, man, if I go see this guy, they ain't going to be funny, so I ain't going to even go. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of them doing it. They had very, very funny, clever videos. The videos were hilarious, but they were calling themselves comedian this and comedian that, and they know damn well they weren't comedians. And then they were getting booked and asking for outrageous prices, knowing that they couldn't do 5 or 10 minutes. So now you got sold out shows because people are watching your Instagrams and you calling yourself a comedian, and you got them bought in because your videos are funny. But now it's you and the stage and the mic. You can't go back and edit.
Yeah, exactly.
No joke live. You can't go back and redo a joke live. You got to have the material or you don't. And 95% of them did it. And a lot of comics like myself had that same issue. And in this day and time with the millennials, if you complain about anything that they're doing and they know it's wrong, the first thing they're going to say is, you hate. That's our thing now, black people. We can know we wrong, and somebody try to correct us, the first thing we say is what? You hating. Why you hating? And so now they're making it to a point to whereas you can't say anything. You can't say anything, and they know they're wrong, and they know they're scamming, they're doing all this. But again, you right now you can go in the store and catch somebody stealing, and you be like, "Hey man, why you stealing?" What you think they gonna say to you?
Well, first of all, they might say, or mind your business.
Right, but more likely they're gonna say, "Why you hating?" So that's our new thing now to keep from, that's our new line, our defensive line to keep people off of us, knowing that we are in the wrong. So it's just one of those things. But now, I'm so busy minding my business. It really doesn't even bother me anymore because one thing about me, I've decided to take a closer walk with God, and the thing is, what's for me is for me. I'm having a wonderful career. I have great family backing. I have great support. And I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I'm really happy, with my career.
When it comes to stand-up comedians, who is your top 5 stand-up comedians?
I couldn't even tell you. I really couldn't. I couldn't. I mean, I know Steve Brown is one of them.
Okay, yeah.
I know that, but there are a lot. It's too many to name, because all comics are great in their own aspect. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I do have, like the D.L. Hughley's, of course, Bernie Mac, Richard Pryor, Bruce. It's a Don V.C. Curry, who is my mentor. He taught me a whole lot about the business of comedy, and made me realize that it's only a business. You have no friends when you have business. You can't mix them together. So I had to learn that the hard way when I ended up homeless. People didn't even know that I was homeless when I was in Tuscaloosa at one time. But it is what it is. So we just I'm rolling, man. I'm doing my thing, and I'm good.
So what's your advice to any upcoming comedians that are from Tuscaloosa?
I would say you better know what you're getting yourself into. You stay focused and do not rely on hometown support too much. You just can't do it, because you got to understand something. The more successful you become, the more you're going to start getting haters. If you don't have any haters or people, doing the pushback thing, then you're not doing anything. And like I said, it's a lot more prevalent in your own hometown, because everybody knows you. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to see your grind, your hustle, or none of that payoff, and you do better than what they're doing. They'll support you as long as you guys are in the same realm as far as, okay, man, we neck and neck when it comes to our paper and our notoriety. But man, this dude blowing up. Let me stop supporting him. That's what we are in this day and time. In the small towns. You know what I'm saying? So I would say stay grounded, stay prayerful, stay focused. And if you can, try to explore outside of your own hometown.
When you left Tuscaloosa, was that like the best thing that you could have ever done?
Yes.
For your career.
Yes, for my career, it was the best thing I could have ever done. The best thing. I love my city. I love my hometown to death. No matter where I go. When I'm introduced, even in China, Japan, Korea, Germany, all those places I've gone, I'm going to Africa, all those places, when they introduce me, I don't want nobody saying nothing else about another city. When they introduce me, I proudly stand in the back and listen for them to say, you've seen them on Def Jam, Comic View, Showtime at the Apollo, Muddy's Family Reunion, Comics Unleashed, from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That right there takes me to another place, and I'm ready to represent. And the thing is, a lot of the people in Tuscaloosa haven't even seen my real show. They see me host, but I guarantee you can ask 100 comics who is one of the strongest comics in the game on stage. I would say 80% of them going to say Steve Brown. That's in the nation, and that's real talk. And Tuscaloosa doesn't even know that. They won't even acknowledge it because they think that, oh man, he just from here. He ain't nobody. Same thing with Deontay Wilder. Same thing. Deontay and I, we've had these conversations plenty of times. Man, it's crazy. So the thing is, when at first when I used to see this, when athletes would move away from their hometowns or rappers and never go back and this and that, and people like, no man, look like your boy forgot about it. You forgot about us, didn't you? That's what they say. Mm-hmm. But then again, in actuality, no, you forgot about me. I'm just doing my thing now without you. You know, and that's just the reality of it. And I didn't expect this to happen like it did, but it is what it is. I'm not mad at Tuscaloosa, but my thing is, I love my city. I love the support that I did get there, and I'm still getting some support, you know. But at the same time, you know, I used to be really, really down about that, you know. And my mom used to tell me all the time, you know, a prophet is never honored in his own hometown. A prophet is never honored in his own hometown. But you know what? It's a second part to that people don't know. That's why God made other cities. So, being said, everywhere I go, all over the nation, I damn near sell out shows. I have great response. I have a lot of support, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy where I am. You know.
Well, Steve, you got my support here, man. I told my kids that I was doing a podcast with Steve Brown, and they really didn't know who you were, so I told them to come on, let me show you who Steve Brown is. I got my Instagram up, pulled it up, showed them your post and everything. Now, man, you got 3 fans. My youngest son, Jalen, he goes around the house saying, minding my business all the time. They watch you. My son, Steve, when I tell you he goes around the house saying, minding my business all the time, man. All the time. He loves you, man. He loves watching you on Instagram.
I appreciate that, man. The thing is, you know, it's turning into a little craze, a little catchphrase for a lot of people, and people are really, really, you know, digging it, and I'm just going to continue to do it, you know. Yeah, it's really cool, man. And I thank you, son. I thank you, man. I mean, you know, I'm like I said, man, I'm still doing me, and you know, I'm just blessed. I'm blessed, and I'm happy, you know.
Before we get up out of here, Steve, would you like to promote any of your shows or just give a shout out to anyone?
I want to send a shout out to all the up and coming comics in Tuscaloosa. Whether you like it or not, I know I inspired you. I know that.
No doubt.
No, I don't give a damn if you don't like Steve Brown. If you, man, Steve Brown, Nikki, I inspired you. Okay, and that's all I ever want to do. If I don't inspire you, something is wrong. Y'all go and support the up and coming comics, and just be supportive of each other, man. It's too much talent in Tuscaloosa for the city not to support their own, you know, and that's why, you know, it's a lot of hidden talent, and these people are afraid to jump on stages and do anything, you know, outside of their living rooms because they feel like the city won't support them. And believe it or not, you are killing people's dreams when you don't support. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something that really tripped me out, man. Okay. A couple of years ago, when I was doing my comedy night at Archibald and Wittrose, I got to send a shout out to him, man. Very good brother. Very good brother. I was doing that, and everybody knew. Well, most people knew that supported it. Knew that I was raising money for my scholarship fund, so I can, you know, give scholarships to Stillman College, Grambling, Southern, all these HBCUs, right? And a brother saw me in Walmart. He was like, Steve Brown, you the comedian. What's going on, man? What's going on? I'm like, I'm good, man. Good to see you. I said, man, I'm getting ready for my comedy night, man. You ought to come down, man. Come check it out. You really enjoy it, man. It's for my scholarship fund. You know, this black man looked at me and said, looked me dead in my eyes and said this to me. He said, man, I'm not trying to put no money in your pocket. I looked at him and smiled and said, you're not trying to do what? I'm not trying to put no money in your pocket. I said, bro, this is for my scholarship fund. I'm good. But just the fact of him saying that showed me the mentality of, he gave me that small town mentality. I ain't gonna put no money in your pocket. I was like, brother, really? You know, so that's what it is, man. So I love my city, keep representing, and trust me, I'll love you from afar.
Steve, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. It means so much to me to have you on here, man. You just don't know. You really don't know, man.
Oh, man, thank you for having me. I appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing. And my advice to you is don't limit your podcast to just Tuscaloosa. Okay. Try to push you to try to become worldwide, dog. You'll be surprised who will support you. It'll be the ones that you've never seen in your life.
I appreciate that advice, Steve, and I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man. God bless.
Thank you for listening to the Jones Podcast. You can find us on iTunes or Google Play or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Jones Podcast.